What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about how to obtain permanent residency in Poland. If you love this beautiful country and you want to stay here for a long time, I'm sure you must be thinking about having permanent residency. So yeah, this video is for you if you are a foreigner or a non-EU national looking forward to moving to Poland, or you are living in Poland. Then you should watch this. So I made a video before about temporary residence. If you have not seen that video, I suggest you go watch that so you can understand how residency works, because you need to have a temporary residence first before proceeding to permanent residence. Why get a permanent residence in Poland? What are the benefits? So I'm going to list a long list of benefits that permanent residency gives you. So number one, long-term stability. So a permanent residence is usually issued for around 10 years, which means you don't need to renew every 2 to 3 years like a temporary residence. And a permanent residence grants you an indefinite stay, so it gives you stability, and you are now here for an indefinite number of period, or you are now here for an indefinite number of years. Number two, employment benefits. So a permanent residence grants you employment benefits just like Polish citizens. Also, like in case you didn't finish from a Polish university, which grants you an automatic work permit. Having a permanent residence means you don't need to apply for a separate work permit or anything. You also have the same employment benefits as Polish citizens. So that is benefit number two of having a permanent residency in Poland. Number three, social and health benefits. So with a permanent residence, you have comprehensive health benefits and access to public health system, which is NFZ, just like a Polish citizen. You also have social benefits, social security benefits. You have unemployment benefits just like a Polish citizen when you have a permanent residence in Poland. Number four, education and training. So you have access to the Polish education system, to the primary system, tertiary, higher institution, and you're also eligible for low tuition fees just like Polish citizens if you have a permanent residency in Poland. Benefit number five, freedom of movement. So you have free movement within the Schengen area. You can travel up to 190 days in a 180-day period, and without any additional visa or any additional document. A permanent residence also grants you easy re-entry into Poland at any time, because you are here now indefinitely, so you don't need to worry about documents so much again. Number six, family reunification benefits. So with a permanent residence, you can sponsor a family member for a residency in Poland. So it just becomes easier because you are here now indefinitely, so you have rights to this thing, so you can sponsor a family member for a residency in Poland. Number seven, business and investment opportunities. So permanent residents can start business and investment opportunities easily without any complicated documents, just like Polish citizens. Yeah, because you are here now permanently, and it is easier for you to start businesses, invest, and do all these other things that will be very, very difficult for you on a temporary residence permit. Number eight, civic participation. With a permanent residence permit, you can vote in local elections in Poland, in your city, in the city where you live, just like Polish citizen, which grants you a say in the governance and how things are done, because you can vote and decide who is elected in a certain position or not. Number nine, a path to citizenship. So everything is like a process. You need to be on temporary residency and then permanent residency, and then before you can proceed to citizenship. So without a permanent residence, all right, there's no path to citizenship. So you need to obtain permanent residence first, after which you can proceed to getting citizenship. That is if you want the Polish citizenship. Number 10, long-term planning. You can plan without the uncertainty that would come with a temporary residence. You have access to like mortgages, you can purchase properties at ease. Some banks say they wouldn't grant you mortgage if you are not like married to a Polish citizen, or if you are not on a permanent residence permit. So having a permanent residence gives you easy access to like mortgages and the ease of access to purchasing properties. Number 11, access to legal aid and protection. So having a permanent residence permit grants you representation and access for legal aid, just like a Polish citizen. You are protected by law, and you can have legal representation just like a Polish citizen would. You are protected legally under the Polish law, just like a Polish citizen. So these are the so many benefits that a permanent residency grants you in Poland if you are a foreigner or a non-EU national. So yeah, let's talk about eligibility. So who is really eligible for a permanent residence, or who can apply for a permanent residency in Poland? Number 1, non-EU nationals or foreigners who have been living in Poland for 5 years, for at least 5 years on a temporary residence permit. So if you are on a work temporary residency or you have EU blue card, so you must have been living here for like at least 5 years. So if you initially came as a student, let's say you studied for like 1 year as a student, so your years as a student, they are counted as half. If you studied for 1 year, so that is just 6 months counting towards your permanent residency. If you studied for like 2 years, that is just 1 year counting towards your permanent residency. If you studied for 3 years, that is 1.5 year counting towards your permanent residency. So you should know this. So if you fall under this category and you've been here for at least 5 years on a temporary residence permit, you can proceed to applying for a permanent residence permit. But what are the requirements that is attached to your application? Requirements: you need to have like command of Polish language to B1 level, and you need to have a certificate proving that you can speak the Polish language up to B1 level. So there are authorized institutions or education outlets where you can go to the school, do the course, and get your certificate that is accredited by the state body. Another way to prove your proficiency is if your education was delivered in Polish language and it is stated on your diploma that your education was delivered in Polish language. You can use this as a proof that you have at least B1, that you can speak the Polish language up to B1, and this will be acceptable for your permanent residence permit. You also need to prove that you have stable and regular income, prove that you've been staying in Poland for at least 5 years uninterruptedly without any major break. And then you need to have health insurance, and you also need to submit proof of accommodation. How can you submit proof of accommodation? If you've been here on a rental agreement, living here, then you can just take all your rental document that proves that you've been living here for like at least the last 5 years in Poland. And if somehow you were able to like buy a house, you need to submit a notary deed confirming that you own this house and that you've been living in this house for like this certain number of years, right? So these are the documents that you need to have in mind before you can proceed, right? I mean, if you don't have this requirement, it doesn't make sense for you to like proceed to applying, because it will just be a waste of your time. Eligibility number 2, who can apply for permanent residency? If you are a family of a Polish citizen, let's say you are married to a Polish citizen, you are a guy or a man, you came to Poland, you found a Polish girl, a Polish guy that you love, and you guys got married. So that grants you a pathway to permanent residency. Or if you have a child with a Polish citizen, automatically your child or your kid becomes a Polish citizen. Also, this grants you access path to Polish citizenship, but you need to be on a temporary residence permit first, based on marriage or based on your spouse or on your kid, before you can proceed to the path for permanent residency. You also need to like fulfill all these requirements that include stable income, health, insurance, proof of accommodation, etc., things like that, before you can proceed. So eligibility number 3, so refugees or asylum seekers or people with humanitarian protection. So there's a pathway for these people also to apply for permanent residency. I mean, you would most likely be on a temporary residence permit, which after that you can proceed after some years to permanent residency. So also you need to have the same kind of documents, B1 language proficiency in Polish, proof of accommodation, insurance, stable income, etc. These are the set of people that is eligible for permanent residency in Poland. Let's talk about the application and waiting time. So once you meet all these requirements for a permanent residency, it is advisable that you talk to an immigration lawyer, because lawyers, they know all these things, what documents, and they can make things easy for you, because it could be a complicated and exhausting process for you. When it comes to bureaucracy in Poland, it can be like a very, very long, difficult process for you. So it is advisable that you use an expert or a professional in that field to like apply for your permanent residency. And there is really no fixed waiting time, because each case is treated differently. There's so many factors that could affect your application time. You know, there's the voivodership, like where you are living, the region, the city, your application, your documents, so many things that could affect your application. So it is advisable that you use an expert or an immigration lawyer that can help you with your application and the processing of your permanent residency. So guys, there you have it, everything you need to know about permanent residence permit in Poland. If you missed the video that I made earlier about temporary residence permit, I advise that you watch that. So guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot. Yeah, thank you. If you have any question, please drop it in the comments and I will answer your question to the best of my knowledge. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Peace. One love.